In today's video, I'm going to show you the secrets to every villager trade in the game so you can get infinite emeralds and become extremely rich in your Minecraft worlds. To start with, I'm going to show you every trade in Minecraft that gets you emeralds, and then show you every trade where you can spend your emeralds on overpowered items, and end by telling you the best trades possible. Now, to start with, we have a room with every single type of villager leveled up to the max and zombified to get a reduced price. We're going to start with the Fletcher. Now, this is the infamous stick for emerald trade. Every beginner player thinks that this is the best trade in Minecraft. And what you do is you go grow a big tree, preferably, and then staircase your way up until you've mined the whole tree. Then you can do this in either spruce or jungle varieties, and then you can make that wood into sticks. The next trade is a tripwire hook trade. This trade becomes overpowered when you use an automatic tripwire hook duper, as shown here. This farm automatically makes you infinite amounts of tripwire hooks that you can trade for emeralds. Next is the mason villager, and he starts with a clay trade. To get clay, we're going to go in rivers and use doors to breathe underwater, and then use a shovel to safely mine up all the clay we need for infinite emeralds. The mason villager also offers you the stone for emerald trade, as well as other blocks. To make this efficient, we're going to use a maxed out beacon and an efficiency 5 pickaxe. This allows us to insta-mine all of the blocks around us, getting copious amounts of them easily. Even better, if you have silk touch on your pickaxe, all the stone you mine will stay as stone, allowing you to trade it instantly for lots of emeralds. Next, we have the farmer villager, who has a pumpkin and watermelon trades for emeralds. Now you can use a pumpkin and watermelon farm to get infinite amounts of these pretty easily, as shown here, and it will automatically collect them for you, which you can then trade. Or you can do it old-fashioned way and farm them by hand. Next villager is the librarian villager. To start with, they offer book trades, where you can get books for emeralds. And the best place to get large amounts of books would definitely be the stronghold, having all the bookshelves to mine, as well as books in the chests. The librarian also offers an emerald for 4 glass block trade, which allows us to get an infinite trade cycle. You buy the glass and then craft those glass blocks into glass panes, and then trade them for more emeralds than you bought the glass with in the first place, using the cartographer villager. Next up, we have the cleric villager, whose first trade offers us rotten flesh for emeralds. This is useful if you have a zombie spawner automatic farm, or if you just happen to kill millions of zombies. They also have a gold for emerald trade, which can become very powerful if you pair it with an automatic gold farm, like shown here. This gold farm can easily produce large amounts of gold nuggets, which you can then turn into golden ingots and trade. Next is the armorer villager. This villager, along with the weaponsmith villager and the toolsmith villager, all offer an iron for emerald trade, which can be very powerful. You can mine iron easily in any cave in your Minecraft world, or you can make a fully automatic iron farm, as shown here, to get infinite emeralds. Next is the fisherman villager. The fisherman villager trades a boat for an emerald. And this might not seem good, but if you run the maths, it's a lot cheaper than the Fletcher trade. Using 1 stack of oak planks, we can turn that into 12 boats. Now, using 1 stack with the stick trade, you're only going to be able to get 2 stacks of sticks, which is roughly 5 emeralds, compared to the 12 emeralds you could get if you were making boats. However, the caveat with this trade is that you must have boats of the right type. Since I use oak wood, I can't trade it. I needed it to be spruce boats. which is a downside. Next, we have the leather worker, who gives us a leather for emeralds trade. You can use this trade by first making a large cow farm, where you can breed and then kill lots of cows very easily. If you pair this with a looting sword, it'll work even better. Next is a shepherd villager, who trades wool for emeralds. To do this, simply make a large sheep farm, dye the sheep the right color, and then shear them using the shears to get large amounts of the wool you need. However, this trade is bad as you need lots of wool to get a few emeralds. Next is the cartographer, who starts with a paper for emerald trade. Now this can be done by making a large sugarcane farm and breaking it all down for infinite paper. However, you require a lot of paper to get a few amount of emeralds. The cartographer is also, of course, a part of that infinite trade cycle we discussed earlier. Now there is the butcher, which offers lots of different trades, including raw meat for emeralds. To get large amounts of raw meat, we're going to use large mob farms, which we can breed and then kill the mobs. It's helpful, we don't even have to cook the meat, we can just trade it instantly for emeralds. And we've already covered the iron trade from the toolsmith, which means we've now found the trades for every villager. Except, what are these ones? Scribe and sub. What does that mean? Subscribe. Oh, subscribe. Oh, I see what I did there. That was pretty cheeky. That's my bad. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe. Alright, back to the video. Now that we've gone through how to get infinite emeralds, it's time to see what we're going to spend the emeralds on. The Fletcher gives us bows and crossbows and arrows. The stonemason gives you a large variety of good blocks for building. The farmer villager gives you natural foods of all sorts, including golden carrots, which are a great source of food. The librarian villager gives you, most importantly, every enchanted book in the game. The cleric villager gives you enchantment bottles, lapis, redstone, glowstone, and pearls, all incredibly powerful resources. The armorer villager gives you a full set of enchanted diamond armor for 1 emerald for each armor piece. Next is the weaponsmith, who will give us enchanted diamond tools, such as a sword and an axe. Now the fisherman, who will give us enchanted fishing rod and renewable source of campfires. The leather worker gives us all things leather, including a saddle and horse armor, which can be harder to get. The shepherd gives us a few rare items, such as paintings, which can be easier to get via this trade. Now the cartographer gives us every map under the sun, as well as a few other items. Next, the butcher villager gives us infinite amounts of cooked food, which can be insanely helpful. Then we have the toolsmith, who gives us our renewable source of enchanted diamond tools. Finally, we have subscribe, it's free, and like and comment. Don't know what those means, but you should try it. Now we've gone through every trade in the game, it's time for what you really want. What are the best trades? Well, to answer this question, we're going to need to define our criteria. 1 is availability, 2 cost versus time, and 3 longevity. Let's start with the Fletcher stick for emerald trade. This is a big one that lots of new players think is overpowered, but is not as good as it seems. For availability, it is great, as sticks are the first trade and are an easy to obtain item. Cost versus time, however, it's bad, as you don't get many emeralds per stick. Now for longevity, it's mixed, as it's only good if you pick up all the saplings and replant the trees. The overall rating for this trade will be a 5 out of 10, so it's best to use other trades. Now it's time for the clay trade, my personal favorite for early game emeralds. In terms of availability, it's amazing, as it's in every river in your world. In terms of cost versus time, it's great, as you need a small amount of clay for each emerald. However, in longevity, it's bad, as there's only so much clay in our world. Now it's time to give it its score. For its overall rating, we're going to rank it as a 9 out of 10, because of how powerful it is early in your world. Now we have the glass pane infinite trade cycle. This trade is very powerful. However, its availability is bad as you need zombification for it to work. Its cost versus time is great as all you have to do is trade. Its longevity is also great as it's an infinite cycle you can keep doing. Now for its score, we will give it an overall rating of 8 out of 10 as it is hard to get early on. Now we have our tripwire hook trade using a tripwire hook duper. In terms of availability, this trade is quite mixed as it requires you to build a whole farm using lots of resources. However, its cost versus time is great as it is completely automatic and its longevity is also perfect because it's fully sustainable. Now for its score, we'll give it an overall rating of 8.5 out of 10 as it's a great option to consider. Next up is the iron trade using an iron golem automatic iron farm. In terms of availability, it's a bit mixed as it can take a while to build but is fairly cheap. In cost versus time, it's great as it's fully automatic, and in longevity it's also perfect because it is fully sustainable. Now to give it its overall score, we are going to give it a rating of 9 out of 10 because it gives you emeralds but also a source of iron in your world. Now, is there a trade that matches all of our criteria and is the perfect way to get emeralds? No, it simply doesn't exist anymore. So the answer is to use them all with each other. Now I hope you guys enjoyed this video and learned something along the way. Please like, subscribe, God bless, I'll see you in the next one.